Okay, picture this, an AI that doesn't just, write a blog post for you or whip up a quick image. I'm talking about an AI that acts as your own personal project manager, one that can take a single idea and just run with it, handling an entire project from start to finish. The engine driving this whole thing is a system built around Claude, and honestly, the results are pretty mind-blowing. So let's dive in and see how it all works. So here's where it all begins. The guy who built this system started with just one simple, yet really dense piece of content, a long-form podcast. Specifically, it was an episode of the Lex Friedman podcast. That's it, just one file. But what the AI did with it, well, that's where the story gets absolutely wild. From that single podcast, the AI agent created this many individual pieces of content. 21. No, that is not a typo. It's basically a whole month's worth of social media content, all generated completely on its own. And here's the really crucial part. This wasn't just 21 text files sitting in a folder somewhere. No way. We're talking about 7 fully edited video clips, perfectly repurposed for 3 different platforms, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok, and then scheduled to go out over a whole week. The agent handled the entire thing. Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but this is real, and it's happening right now. And to really get our heads around how, we need to stop thinking about AI as just a simple tool and start seeing it for what it's actually becoming. What we're really looking at here is an autonomous content machine. This isn't about you sitting there prompting for every little thing. It's about giving one high-level command and then letting a totally new kind of system, an AI agent, manage the entire project for you. And that right there, that's the key idea. See, an AI agent isn't just a chatbot that answers questions. It's a system that can actually reason through a problem, create a multi-step plan, and then go out and use different software tools to execute that plan and hit a final goal all by itself. It thinks, it plans, and then it does. So what's going on under the hood? What does the architecture of a system like this actually look like? How do all these pieces connect to turn one simple request into a completely finished project? Let's take a look. So check this out. This basically maps out the whole assembly line. It all starts with you, the creator, giving a simple command. That command goes straight to Claude, which acts as the central brain of the operation. Claude then looks at its library of skills, which is its knowledge base, to figure out how to do things. Then it uses its workshop of tools to actually do them. And finally, it uses bridges to connect to the outside world and publish everything. And here are the nuts and bolts. The brain, of course, is Anthropic's Claude, the powerful AI model that's doing all the thinking. The knowledge comes from 17 custom-built skills, including this really cool one called Voice DNA, which actually teaches the agent to mimic the creator's unique style. The workshop is filled with software tools for things like video editing, and the bridges are just APIs that let the agent connect to the real world so it can post on social media or generate new images. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds incredibly complicated, like you'd need to be a coding genius to set it up. But the person who created this system has actually made it surprisingly easy to get going. I mean, at a high level, this is pretty much it. You install the right software, you clone the project files from GitHub, you plug in a couple of your unique API keys for the other services, and that's it. You're ready to start delegating tasks. The whole thing is designed to get you from zero to project manager as fast as possible. Okay, so the system is all set up. But does it actually work? Well, to really put it through its paces, the creator gave the agent 3 totally different, really complex projects, and each one was launched with just a single command. So here's the rundown of the challenges. First, turn that podcast into a massive social media blitz. Second, create a multi-format LinkedIn campaign from a single tech article. And third, the most ambitious one of all, generate a complete 5-minute YouTube video from just a topic idea. Okay, let's break down that first project. The agent was given just a URL and one goal. Find the 7 best clips from that podcast, edit them with captions, reformat them from vertical video, and then schedule them out for an entire week. The agent literally handled everything: downloading, transcribing, selecting the clips, editing, and publishing. And here's what the creator himself had to say about it. The task was just executed perfectly. That's 21 individual social media posts, all created and scheduled without a single human finger touching a keyboard after that first command. A full week of content, just done. All right, for project number 2, the game got a little harder. This time, it wasn't just about volume, it was about nuance.
The agent was given a technical article and told to create 2 very different LinkedIn posts. And crucially, it had to use that voice DNA skill to make sure the posts actually sounded like the creator.
And just look at the flexibility here. It's pretty amazing. From the exact same article, it created 2 totally different kinds of content. One was a traditional post with a dense infographic. The other was an 8-slide document carousel, the kind you swipe through, that tells a more detailed story. The agent understood that different formats are for different things. And now for the grand finale, the biggest and maybe most impressive test of them all. The request was so simple to say, but massive in scope. Create an entire 5-minute YouTube video comparing 2 technologies, from the research phase all the way to the final upload. And get this was the entire prompt. Not a detailed script, not a storyboard, just a high-level goal. And from that, the agent researched the topic online, wrote the script, generated the voiceover, edited together the video with visuals, created a thumbnail, and published it to YouTube. We're talking end-to-end video production from a single sentence. So, when you see all of this in action, it becomes pretty clear that we need to start thinking bigger. This kind of technology isn't just about making content a little bit faster. It's a fundamental change in how the creative process itself can work. And really, this is the core takeaway. When you have an agent that can handle the entire execution pipeline, the writing, the editing, the designing, the scheduling, your role completely changes. You're no longer the one in the trenches doing all the hands-on work. You become the creative director, the strategist who provides the vision and lets the agent manage the day-to-day project. So that really leaves us with one final huge question. When an AI can manage all the tedious, repetitive parts of the process, what does that unlock for you? What bigger, more ambitious, more creative ideas will you finally have the freedom and the time to bring to life?